Good afternoon. It is 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, Friday, October the 8th, 2010. This is our tropical update. What we're talking about right now is Hurricane Otto. It had 80-mile-an-hour winds. It is churning out to sea. Let us go ahead and take a look at the Atlantic National Hurricane Center view. This is Hurricane Otto right here. This is a tropical wave out in the southern Caribbean that we're watching, and it's got a 10% chance of development. But when it shows the 10% chance, it's saying in the next 48 hours. They're not saying 10% chance, period. But in the next 48 hours, as it generally moves west-northwestward, it might develop. It could become Paula. But what I'm also watching is this wave right here, as it churns westward. As the troughs and the high pressures move out of the way, eventually another trough is going to set up in this area, which is going to cause storms to pull towards Florida and pull towards the Gulf Coast. Period. We'll probably have a few more sites of that. In the next month of October, I expect there to be probably 2 or 3 more storms. Possibly 4, but that's not out of the question. October normally isn't that active of a month. Of course, neither is November. But November, I expect there to be 2 more storms. But at the moment, we've got Hurricane Otto. Hurricane Otto is the 8th hurricane of the season. Let's take a look at its storm track. Pressure's down to 976 millibars, and as it moves northeast at 21 miles an hour, rapidly churning out to sea. The winds are 80 miles per hour, and this is the 4 p.m. Central Standard Time advisory. Let's go ahead and take a look at the satellite for it. It's starting to get a more defined eye into this area. Not really that area, more in this area, actually. But as it generally heads northeast out to sea, if we take a look at the projected path from it, we will see that they're pretty certain about where this thing's going to go, because all the models are leading that way, and the trough's here, the high pressure's here, so it's just going one direction. It'll probably strengthen a little bit by the time it's tomorrow night. It'll probably be about 85 miles per hour. Could reach 90-mile-an-hour strength. I wouldn't rule that out. Category 2 maybe, a minimum. But it will become extra tropical and head towards the Azores. Take a look at the wide view of the Atlantic. Hurricane Otto. Small tropical wave. Another area of disturbed weather. This could become Paula, or this will become Paula. Whichever one comes first, I do not know. We will keep monitoring these systems. If this does develop, it will move generally northwest. Let's go to a different view real quick, so I can talk about it. That's a Central Atlantic view to talk. Let's go ahead and talk about this wave right here. This one will move westward, and I do not know where it will develop, but it could develop when it gets into the Caribbean, and it will head towards the Gulf of Mexico. Or if it does not, depending on if a trough develops, it will head out to sea like Otto did. But let's take a look at the view of the Caribbean and the Gulf. This wave right here, it is moving generally west-northwestward. It will probably go over the Yucatan, and whether or not it swings towards Florida or just goes up will be the fact of a trough. Whether a trough sets up or not will determine whether this will hit the United States or not. Like what happened with Matthew. If you change the color of this right here, Matthew came up in this area. Matthew crossed here, stayed over land, briefly came out over the water. It came out here, journeyed around here, and then came back off and went off that direction. That's what Matthew did. A lot of models were saying Matthew was going to change the color one more time. A lot of models were saying that Matthew was going to come out this direction and come back off and go up and hit Florida. I don't understand why the models thought that. There was nothing pulling that storm at all. That's why it just continued west. But Matthew could have went up this direction if the trough would have pulled it, but it did not. So that did not end up happening. We will continue to watch this area as it develops and heads generally northwest. That could become our next system Paula, and it will probably hit the Gulf of Mexico. That's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. You can go visit us at our website, first10weather.com. We'll hopefully have a blog set up soon. You can also go and visit us on youtube.com/oneweathernut. Please subscribe, rate, and comment, and everyone have a wonderful evening.